Our group partnered with the Fresh Food Collaboration Movement, and we're really excited to share this project with you. My name is Cara Pietrowski, and I'm the project lead and a second-year sustainability major.
My name is Erica Kreiner. I will be graduating in the summer of 21 with Bachelor's of Science in Sustainability and Geography, as well as a Bachelor of Arts in Anthropology.
My name is Alyssa Knowles, and I am currently studying for my bachelor's degree in science with an emphasis in sustainability.
Awesome. So a little bit of background on FFC. They're a collaborative effort between Green Living Magazine and Urban Farming Education. The movement seeks to alleviate food scarcity and food access issues caused by the COVID-19 outbreak. They do this by partnering with local farms and food providers to create boxes with fresh produce, fresh bread, and other organic treats to distribute to low-income families in the Valley. As you can see in the background of this slide, this is their setup roughly 2 times a month. Volunteers from around the city come together to help assemble boxes for distribution. So when FFC reached out to us, they outlined their main areas for growth as expanding their distribution locations, finding new metrics to communicate to their community, finding new food partnerships, and creating visual ways to communicate their community impact. We will cover our solutions more in depth later in the presentation. However, here is an overview of the action items we thought would be most impactful. In order to outline who they are and their social and environmental impacts on their community, we've created an informational pamphlet. We combined their interest in expanding their metrics with their desire for a visual aid to better outline how they have impacted their community. Additionally, we looked at finding new potential food donors to help supply food for FFC's boxes. And then finally, we did a lot of research about unemployment and COVID numbers in Arizona to understand where the most impacted populations are. Using this research, we determined 3 new potential distribution locations. For a more in-depth look at our process, I'll now hand things over to Erica.
So the vision for Fresh Food Collab was fairly simple. They wanted to expand their outreach by understanding their scope of influence within the greater Phoenix metro area and letting that understanding guide them towards new locations, which would both allow for the growth of the organization, as well as retain the efficiency that allows them to transport food quickly to communities in need. This understanding would also indicate potential opportunities for sponsorships, where Fresh Food Collab could work with local businesses to obtain their food waste for wider distribution with still fresh and healthy material. Finally, they wanted to expand their outreach in a marketing sense by understanding their impact both socially and environmentally and incorporating that knowledge into future marketing materials. The vision was easy to work with. Our project team knew that with this vision in mind, we wanted to help Fresh Food Collab identify potential partnerships, quantify their impact, and create marketing materials for them to share. With 3 major objectives on the table, we decided that the best way to attack this was to divide and conquer. Cara and I took on the bulk of the first objective, which involved researching various social and environmental metrics that we could use to help shape the narrative of the work that Fresh Food Collab does. We wanted to create an eye-catching brochure that clearly outlined the problems and then emphasized the work FFC does to mitigate those problems. What you see here is the final result of that process. Without a full-on branding package, we had to recreate elements and style that felt cohesive with FFC's overall image. So we figured that simplicity was the best way to go about that, opting for a more minimalist design. We also wanted to craft a narrative for FFC that we felt really pulled on their unique mission. So we tied our gathered social and environmental metrics to the goals that you see when you explore their website. While we were working on this, Alyssa took on the task of finding distribution locations as well as potential partners. She worked to understand the present scope of FFC's influence so that she could then begin the task of expanding that scope and building capacity within the organization. Alyssa researched dozens of potential distribution sites, narrowing down to fit the specific needs of Fresh Food Collab, and then even took on the role of the initial point of contact by reaching out to several locations to begin that process of creating these new partnerships. We're confident that this will result in a net gain for both the Fresh Food Collab as well as other local businesses. And throughout this process, we wanted the focus for measuring success to be on specific deliverables so that we had tangible results to back up our work. In this vein, the main deliverables were a drafted template business email for reaching out to potential partners, a list of potential distribution sites, and the brochure, which included the metrics we researched. All in all, we were given a lot of freedom to work through problems for ourselves and to create solutions that we hope ultimately made the work for Fresh Food Collab easier so that they could focus on the most important part of their job, which is what I'll let Alyssa discuss.
So this project has impacts beyond helping the local Phoenix community. The United Nations has made it a goal to ensure that every person has reliable access to fresh, nutritious food. By helping our project partner meet their goals, we are actively contributing to ending hunger worldwide. Every new distribution location that we find for the Fresh Food Collab is another step closer for the United Nations to meet their goal as well. This project will also help the United Nations goal to reduce the amount of global food waste. Food waste in landfills is a major source of both carbon dioxide and methane gas emissions. By securing new leads on unsold food from grocery stores, farms, and restaurants, and making sure that it reaches somebody's table, we are diverting that food waste from the landfill, and in doing so, we are immensely helping the drawdown of greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. Food belongs to those that are hungry, not the landfill. And now that you know about the wonderful benefits that the Fresh Food Collab brings to both the local and global communities and the environment, I bet you're all super excited to lend a hand. If you or someone you know owns a restaurant, store, or farm in the Phoenix area and you don't already have a system to manage your food waste, you should definitely get into contact with the Fresh Food Collab. If volunteering is more your route, you can sign up to volunteer with the Fresh Food Collab on the Urban Farming Education website. After hearing about the awesome work that the FFC does, Cara and I have actually gone to assemble food boxes at Agave Farms, and personally, I plan to continue attending the volunteer events. The atmosphere at Agave Farms is extremely welcoming and fun. The people that I've met while volunteering there are some of the kindest, most generous people I've ever met. You should especially consider volunteering if you or someone you know are going through a hard time financially right now. Every single time that I volunteered at Agave Farms, the owners constantly encourage us to take a food box home for ourselves or to take multiple boxes to give to those that we know are in need. At the first event, I took one box home and I still to this day have so much cheese. It's amazing. Next slide. From working with GreenLight Solutions and our project partners, my team and I have learned a lot of new skills that we can take with us on our career paths in sustainability. We've learned how to function efficiently as a team. We've learned to delegate and assign tasks to each other according to our individual greatest strengths. And now we also have experience in real world business aspects, including marketing research, proper business etiquette, and communication. Most importantly, we were able to help our project partners become stronger, and we contributed to a more sustainable world. And we're currently looking into extending this project into the spring semester, but we would be happy to answer any questions about the work that we've done this far in this semester.
All right, excellent work, Fresh Food Collab. Please look to the chat. There are definitely some good resources from some people on the call. Definitely some good, some opportunities for Fresh Food Collab for partnerships. So the first question is going to be from Chris. It is, will Fresh Food Collab work with other organizations such as St. Mary's Food Bank, or will Fresh Food Collab focus on an independent approach?
I can take that question. Fresh Food Collab actually does work with St. Mary's Food Bank. That is one of the places that they get their food from. However, they are also looking at independent places like smaller farms and local businesses who also have food waste.
Excellent. All right. I do not see any further questions in the chat. So I would encourage anybody, if you're a little hesitant to ask your question, please feel free to join the breakout rooms to discuss with the Fresh Food Collab team. You can ask questions or discuss their project further, as well as please go to the connections page where you can find the LinkedIns for all the group members as well. Great work, team. I will now pass it on to Chloe to head on to our closing remarks.
Awesome. Thank you, Noah, and thank you, team.